Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on how to stay open for business 24/7 by accepting payments online. My name is Eddie Driver, and I'm the Product Marketing Manager here at PaySimple, and I have the honor of being the host for today's event. Before we get started, I just want to let you know of a couple of quick details. First, this webinar is being recorded, and it will be provided to attendees after the webinar. And second, we will have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar, so feel free to ask questions as you think of them. It's simple to submit questions. Just use the chat feature in the lower left-hand corner of your webinar screen. For those of you who are not familiar with PaySimple, we are an all-in-one business management solution that helps small and medium-sized businesses accept payments, market services, and retain customers. And we currently help over 17,000 merchants across the United States grow their business with our platform. We're here today because when we ask merchants kind of what their big concerns are, we hear commonly that they're spending too much time collecting payments or that they're nervous about leaving money on the table because they've missed payments or they have inefficient processes. And our goal today is to discuss some tactical ways that you can improve your online payment acceptance to become more profitable and more efficient, whether you're totally new to online payments or you're just looking for some ideas on how to optimize your current setup. And with that, let's do some quick introductions. As I said, my name is Eddie Driver. I have been in the technology industry for over 10 years, but before that, I was actually a small business owner. And today I can say that I am a current proud large beard owner. And I am joined by a PaySimple expert who has a ton of knowledge and expertise in today's topic, and that is my colleague, Maureen.
Thanks, Eddie. I am Maureen Mulvaney. I have a background in sociology and marketing, and I actually previously served as a marketing and operations manager for a small to medium-sized event staffing company, and I did that while producing an award-winning blog. So I know what it's like to wear a lot of hats, and in that I found a lot of efficiencies and automations that kind of put time back in my day, and I've taken that experience and translated here on the success team. And I've served as a customer success manager here for 2 years, and my daily mission is to empower business owners to reach their fullest potential and do what they love. And so in that, I specialize in onboarding our top customers, and I share best practices to bring efficiency back to their businesses so they can really focus on business growth and really putting time back in their day so they can focus on what they love. And the main way I do that is through operational automation and payment automation. So I am very excited to discuss today's topic.
Great, and as Maureen said, payment automation is one of the key topics we're going to be talking about today, especially when it comes to online payments. And for kind of a quick agenda, what we're going to cover today is first, the problem with some current payment processes, including manual payments and not taking payments online, and then also who is eligible for online payments. So this is an area where we do find that some businesses think that their business may not be appropriate to accept online payments, and we want to debunk some of those rumors by showing that online payments really can work for almost all business types. And then the third one is where we try to get a little bit more granular and talk about some actual ways that you can save time and money by setting up an online store, recurring billing, and very importantly, creating a stellar payment experience for your customers. And then, as we said, we are going to have a Q&A at the end, so please make sure to send us any questions that you have during the webinar, and we will try to get to them when we conclude with our presentation. So we have a quick poll here. I'm going to leave this open for about 10 seconds, and the question is how you manually or how you currently collect payments. So we have 3 options: manually process them yourself, collect them in person or over the phone, or do you already accept payments in some fashion online? All right, so we have a lot of responses coming in here, pretty evenly distributed, and so it turns out that we actually have a pretty large percentage of people on the call today that are already accepting payments online. That's great to hear because, again, we will be covering topics on how to optimize your current online payment acceptance, and those of you who are not accepting payments online, hopefully we'll leave with some really great tips on why it's going to be a great idea for your business to start doing that. And so the first thing that we're going to talk about here is the problem with your current payment process. And Maureen is going to get into some of the ways that this can cause issues for some businesses.
Yeah, so why automate? I mean, really, why not? I work with business owners in all different industries, professional services, home services, wellness, fitness, you name it. The main challenge remains the same. It's I don't have enough time, I don't have enough energy, I don't have enough staff to take payments efficiently, and it's hurting my cash flow. And across the board, I would say payment automation is the solution because it gives you back your most valuable resources. And a robust platform like PaySimple with various payment automation features is really what allows business owners to put time and energy back into growing their businesses and doing what makes them happy. Our customer, Seabreeze, actually was able to better utilize the talents of their team by optimizing online payments. And instead of spending time kind of manning the phones, manually entering payments, driving checks to the bank, they were actually able to refocus all of their time and energy and experienced massive growth as a result of simply accepting electronic payments via an online payment form. So yeah, like Eddie mentioned, not enough time, not enough money, regardless of industry. This is a major problem for small to medium-sized businesses, and it looks like manual payments are a main way that a lot of you are collecting payments, and that actually is going to exacerbate the problem. So some problems that can be solved by payment automation are, maybe you're feeling like you can't leave your phone unanswered. It's leaving you stressed, it's making you a little distracted, it's taking away from the tasks that you really need to focus on, and maybe you're feeling less present with customers. Maybe your employees are stretched too thin. That's a huge possibility. You really need to think about, letting your experts in their fields be experts in their fields. So let your electrician be an expert in his field. Let your trainers devote more time to clients. Let your paralegals focus on casework. Don't make your teams chase down payments. Let them refocus their energies. And then another thing that I really like to point out is human error. So is human error jeopardizing your cash flow and payment security? For example, do you feel comfortable handling cash before it's all deposited? And if your employees and you are already stretched too thin, do you feel confident that all of your income is accounted for? Are there payments missing? Are you counting everything up? And another thing to really think about is how is your customer sensitive routing information being handled? I mean, have you accidentally left checks out on your desk because you haven't had time to cash them? And then lastly, maybe you are already using a virtual terminal. It looks like a lot of you are already collecting online payments. But if you're manually keying in week over week, how many errors are you making? And how much time and racked up fees is that costing you and your business? In addition to all of these, factors that waste time and waste money, they all lend themselves to a not very positive customer experience. So, if you're making it difficult for your customers to pay you, it may actually negate any of the good customer experience that you've provided to them already prior to payment. So offering an automated payment solution that is going to empower your customers to make an electronic payment on their own time, maybe using the rewards cards, or kind of just letting it run as an auto debit in the background each month is really ideal. Driving to the bank is an inconvenience for you, so imagine how it is for your customers, and you definitely don't want to make them endure that on your behalf. So again, payment automation is the solution. It's key. Whether it's online billing through a bill pay button, an online store, electronic invoicing, automatic recurring billing, letting a great software platform handle your receivables for you is always a better alternative to stressing yourself out, burning out your employees, or again, leaving kind of that bad taste in your customers' mouths.
All right, so if any of those previous points resonated with you, or you looked at that part of the slide on the right that says those equal wasted time and money, if there's any part of your business where you feel that you may waste time or waste money, online payments may work for you. Online payments are really appropriate for almost every business type, but there really are some business types that online payments really kind of fit in the sweet spot for. And some of those are any business that provides services. A lot of service businesses have kind of multiple payment types. They can do one-time payments or monthly billing, as Maureen talked about. And having online payments really gives the flexibility to provide your customers payment options that work best for them. Any business that doesn't have a storefront really needs a place to be able to showcase those services and those products. So that's a great type of business for online payments. If you send invoices, this is a great way to allow your customers to quickly get online and pay bills rather than having to write paper checks or put their credit card information written down on a slip and mailed through the mail. And then anybody who works in the field, having those kind of mobile payment solutions and being able to allow customers to pay in person through an online form when those services are rendered is really crucial to be able to offer customers the type of experience they're looking for. So we have another poll here, and that is, what is the biggest obstacle for you when it comes to collecting payments online? So we are going to, again, keep this open for 10 to 15 seconds, and the options here are need customized payment plans, keeping up with invoicing, tracking customer order history, and you don't have a website or a developer to utilize for your online payments. Here again, we have a pretty closely distributed group of responses. Give about 5 more seconds here. And with the finish, so it looks like the biggest option here is they need customized payment plans, followed by invoicing, order histories, and not having a website or a developer. That's actually good. We're going to talk about several of these topics here in the future, so it sounds like everybody will have some subject matter here that will apply directly to some of their biggest obstacles. And we're going to start with how to save time and money with online payments, and Maureen is going to talk about a few ways that you can kind of tactically set up some items to give your customers those flexible payment options and then save that time and money for your business.
Great. Yeah, the first tactic I would recommend is setting up an online store. So what's an online store? At PaySimple, an online store, we have an out-of-box solution that allows you to showcase all of your product and service offerings in one clean, professional, branded interface. Why set one up? A lot of reasons. An online store allows you to generate sales outside of your brick and mortar and also outside of face-to-face interaction. So it's allowing you to do that, but also gives you an option to accept convenient payments online, so not having to man those phones like I had mentioned previously. Offering e-commerce is a really great way to collect payments, and it's a game changer because it's going to open up your cash flow opportunity. One main reason that it really opens up cash flow is because it leaves you open for business 24/7, meaning you can literally collect payments while you sleep. You can generate new sales outside of business hours. And they might be when your customers are more engaged. I mean, they work 9 to 5 as well, maybe longer, so allowing them to make payments outside of your business hours is a great way to open up your cash flow. By showcasing all of your offerings online in one clean interface, you're also boosting your marketing efforts, which is going to allow you to convert leads into sales without really requiring too much of your attention. So you can really focus on your day-to-day, and you're also not going to have any geographical limitations, and it's a very minimal overhead to do so. Offering e-commerce also with a plug-and-play solution that's out of box, much like the PaySimple online store, is going to allow you to be open for business even before you have a storefront or a website. So as some of you guys mentioned in the poll, you don't have a website yet. That's really no problem with a PaySimple online store, and I'll get into that in a moment. Again, it's going to kind of proactively open up that cash flow before you have a website set up so you can fuel your growth and expansion from there. And the best part, for those of you without a developer, you don't actually need one. All right, so let's get into how to build an online store. It is a very simple process, and you'll see it's kind of outlined here. And the way that you start is by building out items in your catalog. So at PaySimple, we have what's called a catalog, and you can use that to build all of your services and offerings in one place. You can add description, picture, any of those things, and then from there you can put them into your online store. And like I mentioned, you don't need a developer to do this. In fact, if you're feeling a little bit stuck, you can call us chat with one of our customer experience team members. We have a great award-winning team here, and they'll walk you through in a few short moments. So once you save your online store after filling up your catalog, adding those items to your online store, it's going to generate a custom URL for you. And that URL is going to have your business name in it. So again, you don't need that website yet. But this URL can then be used to link to your website, your social media platforms, plugs great into social media outlets, blog posts, email marketing campaigns, or you can even display it in written communication like on flyers, posters, things of that nature. All right, so maybe an online store is not right for your business. Maybe you already have one, or you just need a simple way to kind of collect payments online. You can try an electronic payment form. So as you can see here, you can use this payment form to hyperlink your existing invoices, or maybe you're sending out quotes to customers or quotes in the field. You can add this to a bill pay button on your website, or if you're looking to get a little bit more in-depth and collect some additional data with payment, you can do that through custom fields, which can then be stored in the payment system, and they can also be reported on later. And some really great examples of using this would be, collecting registration information or tuition payments for camps and schools. We see this a lot. So collecting payment, but also collecting T-shirt size, emergency contact information, student name, things of that nature.
Great, Maureen. Thank you. And before we continue on this slide, I just want to remind all of the attendees to keep sending in your questions. We've had a few, but we want to make sure that if you have one that pops up, we try our best to address it, and if not, we'll definitely try to address it in some of our post-webinar activities. But to get back to it, so Maureen talked about an online store and payment forms, both great options to allow your customers to pay online. But now we want to talk about a really, really important aspect of being able to accept payments online, and that's setting up recurring billing. And our friend Ben here, who runs an athlete training business, told us that he was losing thousands of dollars a month on missed payments because he didn't have a system that helped him actively collect dues that he was owed. And so he explored and set up recurring billing, and it allowed him to not only recoup those thousands of dollars, but also continue to grow his business. And Maureen here is going to talk a little bit about why recurring billing is so important for small and medium-sized businesses.
Yes, recurring billing is a magical thing for small to medium-sized businesses. I see it every day. Continuing to chase and remind customers to pay for services that have already been rendered while keeping your business operations afloat is really just not a sustainable practice. It's distracting, can be tiresome, and frankly, those conversations are really awkward to have, and really nobody wants to be on either side of that conversation. Also, going to the bank each month, each week, whenever you're depositing, let alone dealing with bounce checks, return payments, is very damaging to the whole cash flow process. So again, recurring automatic payments followed by those auto deposits, which are fantastic, are the ultimate solution for really any business, but especially small to medium-sized businesses. First and foremost, it's going to improve your customer experience, which in turn improves your customer retention. So customers really do like the convenience of an auto debit. You're a consumer also, and I'm sure you appreciate it as well. It removes the anxiety of having to pay your bills on time, and it happens for you in the background of your busy life. And, I'm not sure about you, but I always appreciate it when a business that I'm working with has gone paperless. And one thing I always like to kind of pose a question is thinking about if a service like Netflix didn't offer auto debits as the only option, they would definitely have some customer retention issues because when you have to think about paying a bill, you also kind of rethink the value proposition of a business and the services that they offer. So if you're kind of operating like this currently, you might be putting your customer retention at risk, even if you have really satisfied customers. And then even more importantly, recurring billing really secures cash flow, which is going to in turn help you survive seasonality. So recurring income is going to kind of provide that great solid bottom line that's going to help you weather any seasonality. Maybe you experience some slow times in the holiday months. Most businesses do. If you have recurring clients on those recurring charges, that's going to offer you that stable, steady stream of cash flow year-round, and in turn offer you that stability you need to keep things afloat and be able to focus on growth plans. So setting up recurring billing within the PaySimple system, again, is very simple. You can start out, and it's very customizable by building out your various service plans, how often you want your customers to be charged, at what amount, and then you can place customers on that, essentially set it and forget it. If you have anybody that needs to kind of be flexible with those plans, there is that customizability. So if they want to pay off a payment plan sooner, they can absolutely do that. Maybe they want to stretch it out because they've come on some, other financial challenges. Absolutely something you can offer to your customers, which is going to keep them very satisfied.
Great. And everything that Maureen has touched on up to this point really gets down to kind of a foundational aspect of running a business, and that's creating a stellar payment experience. And with so many businesses nowadays being so hyper-focused on the customer experience, we really have to realize that a payment experience is just a small subset of that customer experience, but it should still be focused on really highly and optimized, because this is the point at which a customer is actually parting with their money. For your customers, it's easy to think about parting with their hard-earned dollars, but it's a lot more difficult to actually do it. And so if you don't offer them a stellar experience and make it easy for them to pay in the way that is most convenient for them, there's a good chance that they could abandon that purchase, and you end up not being able to collect those payments. And last week I was at a current PaySimple's business site, and they actually told me that they love it when there are things in the platform that are improved and things come out that help their business save time. And it sometimes even takes their mind away from, are they offering their payment or their customers the best experience in payments? And they really have to keep their eye on the ball kind of constantly about whether or not they're offering that for their customers, and it's something they really try to focus on. And so when we talk about a stellar payment experience, there are a few market factors at work here that make it so important. One of the first ones is it's kind of funny that we've talked about how people expect an online presence from businesses, and that the expectation is that they'll be able to kind of pay easily through an online medium, but almost 3/4 of consumers that are surveyed are wary of online shopping. So they're doing it, they're expecting it, but they're still a little wary of doing it, and 90% of the citizens in the U.S. make at least one online purchase a month. So not only are they a little weary, but they are definitely doing it. So the businesses that are able to provide them that stellar experience and provide them two key factors, which are trust and convenience, are really the ones that are going to kind of differentiate themselves from their competitors and grow their business in ways that maybe their competitors won't be able to.
Yeah, I mean, building a stellar payment experience is key for you as a business owner and also for your customers. And we've definitely talked a lot about the conveniences that automated billing and storing payment information can provide, but I'd really like to spend these last few moments talking about building trust within your business and with your customers. And again, that is a really key component to creating that stellar payment experience where people are going to feel comfortable paying you. So automating payments through a PCI compliant software like PaySimple actually offers the security you need to make your customers feel comfortable to keep your business safe or to keep their payment information safe, but also it's very important in keeping your business safe from security threats. So PCI compliance is a huge part of it. And PCI compliance is a payment card industry data security standard, and it's a widely accepted set of policies and procedures that are intended to optimize the security of very sensitive payment information and personal information. And it's intended to protect cardholders against the misuse of personal information, but it's also intended to protect you as a business from those, very real security threats that are out there. And PaySimple's cloud-based platform actually builds this into our software, and it will mitigate against security threats on behalf of you and your customers. And I would say apart from security, you really want to be able to trust that the system you're working with will handle receivables for you. So from auto reminders to just making sure that that steady cash flow is coming in. It's no longer your job. It's no longer your employee's job. And it's definitely not your customer's job to ensure that you're getting paid on time. I would say that my accounts across the board tell me how much they've appreciated having an automated billing system. It prevents them from having to hire staff to handle accounts receivable. So from a cost perspective, this really lowers overhead, but from a security perspective, this really limits the access of more eyes on your business financials and then more eyes on the sensitive information that your customers provide to you in form of payment.
Great, thanks, Maureen. So that brings us to the end of the presentation about online payments. I definitely hope that everybody found some really great information, and not only why online payment acceptance is so important, but also a few ways that you can do this tactically, especially using the PaySimple platform, and have some ideas about how accepting payments online can benefit your business, and start to think about how you could actually set those up pretty quickly. So we have a few minutes for questions here, and we had quite a few come in, so we probably will not be able to get to all of them, but I do want to stress that if we are not able to get to your question, that we will have a follow-up in the form of some information in a blog post, and we can have somebody available to contact about your questions if you'd like to talk about them more in depth. So our first question here is going to come from Kent. And so he asks, with the online store, does PaySimple also offer accounting software like Wave Accounting or QuickBooks? Kent, the answer to that is PaySimple does not offer accounting software, but we do offer integrations with accounting software. QuickBooks Online is one of the integrations that we offer with the product. And the great thing about our integrations is that we are constantly listening to our customers to fulfill the needs that they see the most. So while we don't currently have an integration with Wave Accounting today, we do have the ability for customers to let us know which integrations they would like to see built. And we do take that into account when we look at the roadmap for building those integrations. So we do have QuickBooks Online, and Wave is something that we would definitely consider if it's requested. We also have one from Cynthia here, which is there a way to capture information and then process it later? So Cynthia is a travel agent, and she wants to know if she can process some payments via the travel agent portal, so she doesn't have to pay processing, but she also needs to collect payments from her website. So Maureen is actually going to take that one.
Yeah, Cynthia, that's a great question. And I actually work with a few travel agencies, and they utilize the software in a very similar way. So maybe they're collecting one payment up front and storing that information, and then they pay off that balance in the remainder later on, and they can actually use that without having to reach out for that credit card information again, which is a huge convenience for their clients.
Great, and then we have a question from Marcus, and that is, will this integrate into my Wix website? So Marcus, we have kind of two answers for that. We have one, which is PaySimple has a super robust API, and we have a lot of clients who do have development resources that take that API and they do plug it into not only their web platform, but also sometimes into their technology product that they offer, and they use PaySimple just to be the payment processing medium. And then the second answer is we are currently building embeddable solutions so that you will be able to have items, put them into an embeddable solution, and then just take that snippet of code and place it onto your Wix website. So the answer is yes in two ways. It just depends on the best way that would work for your business, whether or not you would like to utilize PaySimple's robust API capabilities. And then I think the last question that we'll be able to get to here is Teresa's, and it is, how do you protect bank account information if you do debit from banking and or credit card? And since Teresa has had several patients comment that they're nervous about leaving their payment information on a server. And again, as we saw in some of the stats earlier, 74% of customers are weary of making online purchases, and this is a major reason why. And so Maureen here can talk a little bit about where that's stored.
Yeah, Teresa, so that comes back to the fact that PaySimple is a PCI compliant provider, meaning we take the utmost measures in building our software to ensure that your patient and your customer data is secure. One of the main ways that we do that is by encrypting it. So even after it's entered into your system, we don't have access to the full card or banking information, and neither will you. So that is a great way to kind of communicate to your customers, hey, we're taking these really extreme measures to ensure that your information is safe.
Great. So that is all the time that we have for questions today. And again, we will be following up with those questions that we weren't able to answer. But I want to just kind of close out here with a couple of things, and that is we do have a lot of customers that really, really love the PaySimple platform. And we've been helping merchants like Ingrid here with her quote on the screen collect payments online and grow businesses for over 10 years. And our payment solution really makes many of the tasks that would otherwise be time-consuming and filled with errors completely seamless and automatic. So if you need a better way to accept payments or attract interest in your business, manage customers, then definitely give us a try. We know that as potential customers, you might want to take the system for a test drive, kind of see what it looks like, see how it acts, and really make sure that it is a great solution for your business to use. And you can do that for sure completely free with no credit card required for 14 days by going to the URL that's at the bottom of your screen, and that's paysimple.com/free trial. So we definitely invite you to get in there, kind of see what the system is like, and we really do believe it'll be a great solution for your business, and we hope you do as well. So that is it for today. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us, and I want to thank Maureen for providing her expertise in today's presentation. And I want to also make everybody know that they're free to visit paysimple.com/blog for more tips on accepting payments online and other ways to grow your grow your business. So with that, thank you very much. Take care and have a wonderful day.